The publicity department's press briefing. Shannxi enjoys a very important status in China's history, and the Shaanxi Gansu Revolutionary Base was where the CPC Central Committee and the Red Army concluded their long march. And the starting point where the army and the party led the people to step toward the new era. In Yan'an, we saw a wealth of experience left by the generations of Communist Party of members. And it encourages the people of and the member of the party and the nation to fight for generations following the Yan'an spirit and open a new ground in China's development. Upon the centenary of the Communist Party of China, we are very honored to be joined by the Secretary of the Shaanxi CPC Shaanxi Provincial Committee, Mr. Liu Guozhong, and the Province Governor, Mr. Zhao Yide, and the head of the Publicity Department of the Shaanxi Province, Mr. Wang Xiao. The press conference today will be themed on the promotion of Yan'an spirit and working for the accelerated growth of Shaanxi in the new era. Also, they will answer your questions. Now, welcome the opening remarks of Mr. Liu Guozhong. Ladies and gentlemen, media from the press, good morning. With the centenary of the CPC approaching, I'm very glad to meet you all here. On behalf of the CPC Shaanxi Provincial Committee, the People's Government of Shaanxi, and the 39.5 million of Shaanxi people, I would like to express heartfelt thanks for our friends from the media for your long-term interest and care for the development of Shaanxi. Shaanxi is one of the important cradles of the Chinese nation, the Chinese civilization. It is a place with a rich and glorious history of revolution. The Shaanxi Gansu Revolutionary Base was where the CPC Central Committee and Red Army concluded the long march and where the 8th Route Army departed for the front line of the war against Japanese aggression. It was the only completed revolutionary base after the Agrarian Revolution. The CPC Central Committee stayed in Yan'an for 13 years, during which it led the Chinese Revolution from the bottom to the peak and achieved historic progress. The Yan'an spirit was a splendid chapter of the CPC spirit set, led by the CPC Central Committee and motivated by the Yan'an spirit. Generations of Shaanxi people inherit the red gene and has been making painstaking efforts to fulfill transformative changes in Shaanxi. When New China was founded, the GDP of Shaanxi was less than 1.3 billion yuan, but last year this number rose to 2.62 trillion yuan, and the per capita disposable income rose from 300 yuan at the beginning of the reform opened up to 38,000 yuan for urban residents, and for rural residents, the number rose from 100 yuan to 13,000 yuan. The green coverage rose from 32.55% to 45% last year. General Secretary Xi Jinping pays close attention to the development of Shaanxi, and in February 2015, he visited Shaanxi, during which he said, Shannxi is in the stage of chasing and surpassing. He also pointed out that Shannxi needs to take concrete steps in 5 aspects. In April last year, General Secretary Xi paid the second visit to Shaanxi and asked us to strive to write a new chapter of Shaanxi in the new era. And he said we must make greater efforts to achieve high-quality development economy, advance reform, open up in inland areas, improve ecological environment, raise people's living standards and social welfare, and ensure strict party self-governance. We in Shaanxi have been committed to following through on the important remarks of General Secretary Xi Jinping and made hard work and with fortitude to make new and positive outcomes. First, guided by the important remarks of General Secretary Xi Jinping, the potential of innovation is unleashed in Shaanxi. Science and technology and innovation is the most distinctive feature of Shaanxi. Shaanxi is home to over 100 universities, 1,300 scientific institutions, 66 academicians, over 2 million professional skilled technicians. The Time Service Center of Beijing Time is located in Shaanxi. And also Shaanxi's footprint, it also could be seen in the development of the Jiaolong submersible, Chang'e lunar probe, and Tianwen Mars mission. We tap into these innovation resources, inspire more innovative efforts from the companies and individuals. Emerging industries such as aviation and space, equipment manufacturing, electronics, AI, new material, biopharma are growing from strength to strength. Shaanxi is one of the leaders in the western provinces in terms of the number of listed companies in the stock market, and the number of high and new tech companies grew by 41% last year, and the energy and chemical industries has a higher valued added chains. Modern agriculture is also booming in Shaanxi. Of every 7 apples in the world and 4 apples in China, there is one from Shaanxi. This year, we launched the Qinchuangyuan innovation-driven platform to develop it as a window of Shaanxi's innovation-driven development. This platform put together the resources of universities, institutions, and companies, and it was well received by the elements across society, including companies, scientific institutions, and intermediaries, and also financial institutions. They come for innovation and cooperation. Second, guided by the important remarks of General Secretary Xi Jinping, the vitality of open development of Shaanxi is unleashed. Since ancient times, Shaanxi has been an important window of opening up in China. Over 2,000 years ago, Zhang Qian, a royal emissary, left Chang'an, the capital of Han Dynasty, to travel westward and open the Silk Road linking the east and the west. The Belt and Road Cooperation once again puts Shaanxi at the front line of China's westward opening up. We give full play to this advantageous status and focus on opening up to other provinces in China and also countries beyond China. We focus on building air and land ports, free trade trial zones, and the SEO demonstration base for exchanging and training agriculture technologies, and also Silk Road Expo and other opening up platforms and corridors to build a higher level opening up. Last year, despite the negative impact of COVID, the China-Europe Railway Express Chang'an saw a 74% increase in freight train services. we topped in terms of the number of freight train services and freight volume. The paid-in foreign investment in Shaanxi grew by 9.2%, and the export and import Shaanxi had with Belt and Road countries increased by 26.7%. We also advanced the market-based reforms to improve our business environment, and the number of market entities in Shaanxi grew by 12% last year. Third, guided by the important remarks of General Secretary Xi Jinping, the ecological blueprint of Shannxi is drawing up. Shanxi spans the Yellow and the Yangtze rivers. The Qin Mountains is the dividing line of China's climate and an important shield for ecological security. We draw lessons from the incident of Qin Mountains and implement the principle of green mountains and clear waters of mountains of silver and gold to make sure that the sky is blue, water is clear, and the land is clean. Now, 96% of Qin Mountains in Shaanxi are in good shape, and the lowest plateau has China's largest area with no afforestation. The waters in Dan and Han rivers provides 70% of water for central route of the South-North Water Diversion Project. Last year, Shanxi enjoyed 295 days of good air quality, and this good ecological environment contributed to the procreation of wildlife animals. The crested ibis in Shanxi, the number of this animal was only 7 in 1981 when first discovered, but now this number has grown to over 5,000. And also in Yan'an, there is the largest group of leopards. Shanxi is also a large energy producer. We're earnestly implementing the instructions of the CPC Central Committee on Carbon Peaking and Carbon Neutrality. Carbon reduction now is a standard that could be seen in each and every project and companies and local governments. We will work for the green and low-carbon development of economy and society. Fourth, guided by the important remarks of General Secretary Xi Jinping, the basis for people's happy life is more cemented. As been said, people's aspiration for better life is what we work for. We've been committed to safeguarding improving people's livelihood through development and meeting people's demand. In Shanxi, over 2.8 million people of 56 counties are out of poverty. As we lift people out of poverty, many special industries of some localities are speeding up. The wood ear industry is providing employment for 65% of impoverished population in the sections of production, processing, and sale. Compulsory education is covering every county. Medical service is more completed and wide-ranging. A social safety net has been basically formed, covering every person in the society. The public cultural services are also improving and delivering high-quality performance. This year celebrates the centenary of the founding of the Communist Party of China. Shanxi will host the 14th National Game, the 11th National Para Games, and the 8th Special Olympics. We welcome our friends from the media to report on the games and experience the new changes of people's lives in Shaanxi. Fifth, guided by the important remarks of General Secretary Xi Jinping, the atmosphere of integrity is formed in Shaanxi. General Secretary Xi Jinping has asked Shannxi in the new era to stand upon the trend of the era and be ambitious and determined to lead the waves of the times. We will make good use of the resources of Yan'an, Zhaojin, and Malan to take solid steps to promote party history study and education, and to bolster the party members' beliefs, conviction, and confidence, to help them foster a spirit of trailblazing and hard work, so that they will contribute more to the exhilarated growth of Shaanxi in the new era. We'll take concrete actions to uphold General Secretary Xi Jinping's core in both the CPC Central Committee and the CPC as a whole, and uphold the authority and centralized and unified leadership of the CPC Central Committee. We will not slacken our efforts to tighten discipline and improve party conduct and fight corruption. We'll make every effort to make sure that the important remarks of the General Secretary Xi Jinping and the decisions and plans of the CPC Central Committee will be implemented. The progress achieved by Shannxi epitomizes the progress achieved by the party and the nation. We are more aware of the fact that General Secretary Xi Jinping is the core of the CPC Central Committee, the core of the party, and the backbone and anchor of the cause led by the party to move forward. We are more aware of the fact that Xi Jinping thought on socialism with Chinese characteristics in the new era, as the modern Chinese Marxism and the 21st century Marxism has compelling power of truth and practice. We'll embark on a new journey in the new era, and we'll rally closer around the CPC Central Committee with Comrade Xi Jinping at the core, and advance Xi Jinping thought on socialism with Chinese characteristics for the new era. We'll continue to implement the General Secretary Xi Jinping's important remarks in Shaanxi, the new development philosophy, and take solid steps to move the 5 aspects. We'll work for quality development and strive for people's better lives and high-efficient governance. We will promote Yan'an spirit and a trailblazing spirit to achieve exhilarated growth of Shaanxi in the new era. That's all for my opening remarks. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, and the floor is open for questions. Please identify yourself before raising questions. Thank you. With CCTV. In the opening remarks, you said that in General Secretary Xi Jinping's election tour in Shaanxi in 2015, he said that Shaanxi is in the stage of chasing and surpassing. And last year, General Secretary Xi also said that Shaanxi should strive for a new chapter of Shaanxi's development in the new era. So, can I ask what has been done over the past year in implementing General Secretary Xi Jinping's reported remarks, and what will be the future plan? Thank you very much. And last year, General Secretary Xi Jinping paid his second visit to Shaanxi and drew the blueprint for Shaanxi's socio-economic development in the new era and people's future lives. His remarks unleashed the pioneering spirit and dedication of people of Shaanxi to make more success. Over the past year, following the the spirit of the important remarks of General Secretary Xi Jinping, we put together our minds and hands to achieve new progress in the party building and social economic development of Shaanxi. Looking ahead, we'll make greater efforts to continue to implement the 5 requirements proposed by General Secretary Xi Jinping to make sure the stability and guarantee in 6 aspects and make sure that we can achieve new progress each and every year. First, it's about the economic high-quality development. This is the top priority proposed by General Secretary Xi Jinping, and we have been earnestly implementing the new development philosophy and achieve concrete progress in the 14th five-year plan period. High-quality development now is a measurement in each and every high-quality projects, and will build a modern industrial system with Shannxi characters. Last year, we launched a study tour of important projects of Shannxi, and on the first working day after the Spring Festival holidays this year, over 900 important projects were launched. Quality is now a key standard in reviewing the progress of projects. Next, we'll put innovation at the top priority to renovate and upgrade traditional industries and develop strategic emerging industries and develop modern agriculture to ensure more successes of more high-quality projects. Second is the reform and open up in inland areas. General Secretary asked us to focus on the major reform measures of fundamental and overarching significance, and to deepen our integration into the Belt and Road Cooperation. Now, the time to start a business only cost 3 working days in Shaanxi, and many of our new practices in advancing free trade trial zones are promoted nationwide. The number of participating companies in the 5th Silk Road International Expo is at a new high, and looking ahead, we'll continue to reform government functions, state asset, and state-owned enterprises to build a market-based business environment meeting international standards and promoting the rule of law. At the same time, we'll open up wider to work for greater cooperation with foreign companies, foreign trade, and foreign investment, and build more platforms and a better environment to better serve new development. Third is ecological environment. General Secretary Xi Jinping pointed out that the environment of Shaanxi not only concerns its own development quality and sustainable development, but also the big picture nationwide. As we pursue accelerated growth, we'll defend the bottom line of ecological security and achieve green economic and social transition. Next, we'll continue to adopt a holistic approach to protect our environment and ecosystem, and implement the protection and restoration projects of Qing Mountains and the Yellow Rivers, and protect the water source of the central route of South-North Water Diversion Project. We'll also build up the green shield for ecological security to address pollution and promote the recycled and green and low-carbon development in every aspect of social and economic development. Fourth is people's livelihood and social welfare. General Secretary Xi Jinping emphasized that people's living standard is the root of social harmony and happiness. Last year, together with the rest of the country, we get rid of absolute poverty. Next, building on this success, we'll work for quality development. For example, we will develop more special industries such as wood and nurture more market entities that could provide more job opportunities. We'll try with every effort to make people richer and do our utmost to take care of people's education, culture, medical care, social welfare, old age care, and housing to help people feel the real change taking place in their daily lives. Last year, we renovated over 410,000 residents and also take care of the old age group by rolling out several concrete measures. We'll do our best to make people live a happier life. Fifth, we'll advance our efforts to ensure strict self-governance of the party. General Secretary Xi Jinping emphasized that only if the party building is strengthened in common days, then in critical junctures it could be depended on. Over the past year, we strengthened party discipline and fought corruption and opposed bureaucracy and formalities for formality's sake. An atmosphere of integrity has been formed to ensure that party members are on every effort to focus on the implementation of the important remarks. We'll inspire the initiative and creativity of every aspect to ensure that everyone participates in the exhilarated growth in the new era of Shannxi, and to turn the blueprint drawn up by General Secretary Xi Jinping into reality. Thank you. Next question, please. We know that Yan'an is a very special place in Chinese Revolution, and in the 13 years of stay of the CPC Central Committee in Yan'an, Yan'an spirit was fostered. I wonder, upon the centenary of the Communist Party of China, how will Shannxi integrate the party history study and education with these red resources to better promote Yan'an spirit? Thank you for your question. The Yan'an period is one of the most lively and compelling episodes of the century-old party history. And the Yan'an spirit is a precious spiritual wealth of the Communist Party of China. It emphasizes the commitment to a right political direction, to emancipating the minds and seeking truth from facts, a principle to serving people wholeheartedly, and an entrepreneurial spirit of self-reliance and hard work. Of the two visits paid by General Secretary Xi Jinping to Shannxi, he emphasized the importance of promoting Yan'an spirit on both trips. So, as we advanced party history study and education, we delved into the essence of Yan'an spirit, studied into the history facts of the Yan'an spirit, and link history with reality to make sure that we are highly in line with the Party Central Committee with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core. First is the commitment to the right political direction. Back in the days in Yan'an, the sixth plenum of the sixth CPC Central Committee further identified Comrade Mao Zedong's leadership of the party, and the seventh CPC National Congress elected the party Central Committee with Comrade Mao Zedong as its leader. In the new era, General Secretary Xi Jinping led the party, the military, and people of our ethnic groups to overcome difficulties and challenge and achieved historic achievements in the party and the nation. He is no doubt the core of the party Central Committee, the party, and the direction General Secretary Xi Jinping leads us to is the direction that the party should move forward in the new era. We will continue to share the stories in Yan'an of the party following the party Central Committee and the people following the leader. We'll help the members of the party to have a better and profound understanding of the history since the party's 18th National Congress and a better understanding of General Secretary Xi Jinping's breadth of spirit, vision, and ambition, so that we will continue to keep in line with the core and defend the core and be loyal to the core. Second is to foster a firm belief, conviction, and confidence, and to continue to use the Xi Jinping thought on socialism with Chinese characteristic for the new era to emancipate the minds and to unify our thought. Back in the days in Yan'an, the CPC integrated the Marxism with Chinese realities and established the Mao Zedong thought. And guided by the Mao Zedong thought, we won the new democratic revolution. In the new era, the party members led by Comrade Xi Jinping, based on a better understanding of the CPC governance, the socialism development, and the involvement of human society, established the Xi Jinping thought on socialism with Chinese characteristics for the new era. And guided by this thought, the country, nation, and people have demonstrated unprecedented cohesion and confidence. Looking ahead, we'll continue to cement the theoretical basis and to study deeper the history to achieve accelerated growth in the new era. And we will explore new practices to combine offline teaching and online teaching to guide party members to have a better understanding of the new theoretical breakthrough of the party and stay firm in practicing and believing the Xi Jinping thought on socialism with Chinese characteristics for the new era. Third is commitment to the people-centered approach. This approach is implemented in every work we do. Back in the days in Yan'an, the party puts the commitment to serving the Chinese people wholeheartedly into the charter of the party. And now in the new era, General Secretary Xi Jinping has been leading the party to fulfilling people's aspiration for a better life and addressing people's real needs with real efforts, and has produced positive outcomes and a significant improvement in people's livelihood. The party has won the admiration and support of the people across China. In the next step, we'll continue to strengthen party history, study, and education, and share General Secretary Xi Jinping's experience in Liangjiahe as the party member, party secretary, and his life with other common people. We'll turn people's needs as our top priorities and help people feel a stronger sense of happiness, security, and gain. Fourth, we'll continue to make arduous efforts to achieve accelerated growth. Back in the days in Yan'an, sandwiched between the Japanese imperialist aggression and the provocation of the KMT, the Communist Party of China made arduous efforts to open a new ground of Chinese revolution on the Barren Land. Now, in the new era, General Secretary Xi Jinping has been leading the party, military, and people to blaze out new trails and achieve two miracles in economic and social development. Looking ahead, we'll continue to give full play to the resources of the revolutionary sites in Fenghua Mountain, Zaoyuan, Nanli, Wan, and Zhaojing and Malan to make sure that every party member knows that the country, socialism, and the new era are possible only with concrete actions. We'll not be complacent, and will keep low profile to work for new progress in the new era. Thank you.
下一个问题，前排那位男士。
谢谢主持人，我是上游新闻的记者。习近平总书记。
Secretary General pointed out that it's very important that we protect the environment and ensure high-quality development along the Yellow River Basin. This is of top priority for the Chinese nation. Shaanxi province is a very important province along the Yellow River. What will be the major policies and proposals for the development along the Yellow River during the 14th five-year period? Thank you very much for this question. I will invite our governor to answer this question. We all know that the well-being of the Yellow River bears on the well-being of the nation. The Yellow River Basin is a very important ecological barrier of China. It is also a very important ecological function area, as well as a major agricultural production area and cultural and tourism belt. The Central Party Committee, with Comrade Xi Jinping at the core, pays close attention to environmental protection and high-quality development of the Yellow River Basin. It has taken this as a top priority for the Chinese nation, and we have made a holistic plan. The Yellow River runs 719 kilometers in Shaanxi province, involving 65% of the total land, 76% of the nation's population, and 87% of China's economy. Therefore, it is very important for us to protect the environment and ensure its high-quality development. The Provincial Party Committee and the government has been paying close attention to implementing the instructions from the from Secretary General Xi Jinping. We have made an overall plan to ensure environmental protection and make sure that this will be a long-term effort. We have returned over 28 million mu of farmlands to grasslands and consolidated over 8.6 million mu of shifting sands, reducing over 400 kilometers of sand area northwards. And last year, the water quality of 32 cross sections in Shaanxi province is better than the national average. So the priority of environmental protection lays in the overall governance. We will pay close attention to our overall plan and give priority to green development. We will base our development strategies on the environment and especially on water conservancy and take tailored actions to address the pollution and the quality problems relating to the Yellow River, to protect its environment and ensure high-quality development, especially those in the pilot zone areas. Because the Yellow River has and will always be our priority. We have 4 priority areas. First is to reduce and control sand. The Loises Plateau is an important source of slits into the Yellow River. Therefore, we will take this as a priority and follow the natural rules and stick to our efforts in consolidating sand and sanding areas with grasslands and forests and build more scientific dams to address desertification and erosion, to reduce desertification and water and land erosion in Shaanxi province, to return more farmlands to grasslands and forests, to build better shelter belts, and to address the sources of sandstorms and to restore more natural forests. We will enhance our projects in building more slit arresters to reduce the slit into the Yellow River so that we will have less slits and sands in the middle section of the Yellow River. The second priority is to address water pollution. Water pollution may be seen in the water, but the sources are along the basin and related to problems happening on land. Therefore, we must implement the water chief and river chief responsibility system, take tailored projects to different rivers, especially the trunks and tributaries of the Yellow River. At the same time, we will strictly follow the system of a certificate for emission production, enhance the ability of sewage treatment in urban and rural areas, and also control the direct emission of polluted water into rivers. At the same time, address the non-point pollution of agricultural areas. We must reduce pollution from its source. The third priority is to enhance production. Some places along the Yellow River in Shaanxi province are very important energy bases of China. It also showed us great strategic responsibility in ensuring the overall national energy security and plays a very important role in peaking carbon emission and reaching carbon neutrality. Therefore, for those areas, we must combine our efforts in pollution reduction together with the reduction of carbon emission, use clean and green energy, and to conduct an energy revolution, to build better pilot areas, to accelerate the development of new industries, cultural and tourism industries, to find a path with new characteristics that suits this place. Fourth is to benefit the people. We will endeavor to enhance the well-being of the people and focus our energy on some of the major projects, major water conservancy projects in those areas so that the Yellow River could benefit the people. We should base our city planning, development, production, and other strategies on water conservancy to control the overall consumption and use of water at the same time meet the needs of the people and also production. At the same time, we must also protect, preserve, and carry forward the Yellow River culture to give it more relevance to today's times, to tell better stories about the Yellow River. We must do whatever we can to protect the mother river, the Yellow River. Thank you very much.
谢谢主持人，香港紫金杂志记者提问。刘书记刚刚提到陕西的中欧班列长安号在
Secretary Liu mentioned the good performance of the China Railway Express Chang'an during the COVID-19 period. What will be the future plan for Shaanxi to further enhance the Belt and Road development? So our governor will also take this question. Thank you very much for your interest in the CRE Chang'an. Just now, our secretary gave an overall introduction of this CRE. I will add some detailed information. I know around China and around the world, people are paying close attention to the development of CRE because it has become a flagship project in the Belt and Road construction. Over the years, we have been earnestly implementing the instructions of General Secretary Xi Jinping to integrate into the Belt and Road development and making CRE Chang'an as an important tool for Shaanxi province to enhance opening up, to ensure accelerated, sound, and healthy development. Now it has combined 15 national domestic rail routes and opened 15 international routes. Last year alone, it made 3,720 trips, carried 2.811 million tons. So in terms of the number of services, double stack rates, and volume, it all ranked number 1 in China. It has not only become a very important commuter for Eurasia trade and also ensured the security of global industrial supply chain, but more importantly, it has become a very important supplier of materials in the fight against COVID-19 for the world. For the first 5 months of this year, it has made 1,512 trips and carried 1.115 million tons. So the development momentum is sound and encouraging. Now we are developing the CRE Assembly Center in Xi'an, and following the overall goal of consolidating, stabilizing, and improving its functions, we will leverage the role of the international station of Xi'an as the largest international hub in northwest China to enhance platform functions, to make it to apply more technologies in this area, to better support the supply chain, financial chain, data chain, industrial chain, and chain of innovation and chain of policies to ensure the commercialized operation of the CRE and better develop the Xi'an International Trade and Logistics Park to make it a very important trade and logistics hub along the Belt and Road routes. When we talk about opening up, we all know that Shaanxi province used to be the starting point of the Asian Silk Road, and now is a very important point and hub along the Belt and Road. General Secretary Xi Jinping instructed that we must lead inland provinces in reform and opening up. This is a higher goal for us to achieve and a very lofty mission. We will earnestly implement the instructions and seize the strategic opportunities provided by the Belt and Road to put in place the new development paradigm, implement all the policies and measures to ensure the integration and connectivity in 5 major areas, to build better platforms, to put in place better environment, to make Shannxi an important point in domestic and international circulations, and to make Shaanxi a truly important window for China's overall opening up in the new era. We are endeavoring to make breakthroughs in the following 4 areas. First is transport network. We will leverage the advantage of Shaanxi as in the geographical center of China and also as the major hubs of both Asia and inland China to build better transport networks of high-speed rail and expressways to better connect with the Land Sea Express and the Eurasia Land Bridge, to knit a closer network of transport, both on land and including air aviation. We hope this network could connect Central Asia, West Asia, and Europe, and could provide cost-effective and better service to the Eurasia Land Sea Trade Corridor. Second is to build better platforms. We must make full use of the FTAs, the economic zones, contiguous zones, and also the SCO agricultural platforms to make better use of air aviation, railway express, and electronic ports to facilitate the operations of major international exhibitions, and also develop international cooperation and industrial parks, and facilitate the development of major industrial bases of the Belt and Road. Third is to enhance exchanges. That is to say, we must leverage our strength in science, technology, cultural, and tourism, and archaeology, public health, sports, and friendship cities to conduct and enhance our cooperation and exchanges to make Shaanxi province an important exchange basis for cultural and people-to-people exchanges on the Belt and Road. Fourth is to put in place a better business environment to provide better government service and delegate more powers to other administrators to use data technology to enhance policies, approval structures, and services, so that we can have a international business environment that is ruled by the law and according to market standards, so that more people will come to Shaanxi for their business. Thank you very much. We all know that Shaanxi province has a very rich cultural heritage. What will be the plans and what are the achievements made in these areas? Thank you very much. General Secretary Xi Jinping paid 2 visits to our province, and he had high expectations on cultural development of our province. What he has instructed has given us the way forward and the basic guidance for our work in this area. We will earnestly implement his instructions, enhance 4 consciousness, enhance our confidence in 4 areas and enhance the 2 upholds. We will fully leverage our strengths in culture and heritage, continue to carry forward the fine traditions of Chinese culture, the revolutionary culture, and the advanced culture of socialism, so that in Shaanxi province, we can continue to carry forward and highlight those fine cultures. In pursuing accelerated development of Shaanxi, we will endeavor to strengthen cultural development of the province. We will focus our work in the following 4 areas. First is to continue to enhance ideological innovation. We have a unique historical and political strength in this area. In the past, in Shaanxi, during the 7th National Party Congress, we spread and implemented Mao Zedong thought. So we will draw strengths and lessons from what we have done before to study and implement the Xi Jinping thought on socialism with Chinese characteristics for the new era, use different kinds of platforms and columns opened by the provincial magazine, newspaper, and TV stations to do more outreach program and educational programs so that we can tell the general public the most latest ideological innovations of the party, to share with the people the ideological achievements, and to combine the love and affection for General Secretary Xi Jinping with our confidence in socialism with Chinese characteristics. This will be Shaanxi's contribution to the development of ideology of the CPC in the new era. Second, we will continue to carry forward and spread the revolutionary culture of the communists. We have the Yan'an spirit. This is a rich cultural heritage for us. We will earnestly carry forward the awareness campaign and the study of the party history to give more relevance to the Yan'an spirit and fully leverage our strengths in the red resources, including Yan'an, Zhaojing, and Malan, and other red locations, to spread revolutionary culture, to enhance the outreach program of revolutionary heritage, and make better use of all the movable and immovable revolutionary relics, to make better use of exhibitions and cultural relics, to spread and tell more stories of the communists. Third, we will continue to advance the cultures of socialism. In Shaanxi, we have the tradition to develop culture for the people and to connect cultural development with the people. We will continue to guide cultural development with the core values and ideas of socialism, to deepen the supply side reform of the cultural sector and enhance the development of culture, especially on revolutionary stories and programs. At the same time, we will also tap into the strengths and potential of local music and local operas, and make a whole chain of creation, dramas, and programs. Currently, we are introducing a set of major dramas and TV programs to benefit the people. And we hope we can build more centers of cultural programs, both at the city and county levels. At the same time, we will enhance international exchanges and make our contribution to the development of socialist culture of China. And fourth, we will continue to carry forward the fine traditions of Chinese culture. We have rich cultural heritage in Shaanxi. We will preserve, protect them, at the same time carry forward the fine traditions of the Chinese culture and make new innovations. We will better protect the cultural heritage in Shaanxi, to make better use of them, and to implement major archaeological programs, and to facilitate the development of major national programs related to the Great Wall, the Long March, and the Yellow River National Park. And we will build 4 national archaeological parks in Shaanxi to better facilitate the protection of cultural heritage along the Yellow River Basin. At the same time, we will continue to carry forward the spiritual heritage of the Chinese culture. Thank you very much.
谢谢主持人。海报新闻记者提问：刚刚刘书记提到第14届全运会将在
The 14th National Games will be held in Shaanxi. What about the preparations? What will be the highlights?
好，谢谢海报新闻这位记者的提问。这个问题呢，现在请赵一德省长来回答。
好，谢谢这位记者提问。前天晚上
Thank you for this question.
举办了
2 days ago,
14运会和
we just unveiled the 100-day countdown of the 14th National Game and Paragames. This will be an encouraging event for all of us. This will be the first time that we hold a national games in the central and western region of China, and it will be the first time that we host in the same year a national game and also a Paralympic game. For our province, we see this as a lofty mission entrusted on us by the government, and we have made our commitment to ensure the full success of these games. We will follow through and earnestly implement the instructions of General Secretary Xi Jinping, and with the concerted efforts of all walks of life and under the guidance of relevant agencies, we have made major breakthroughs in the preparations. First, the accelerated construction of venues have all been completed, following the principles that we will make better use of existing venues and pay special attention to key venues. We have utilized to the utmost degree existing venues and facilities. Despite of difficulties during the COVID-19 pandemic, we have ensured the quality of the construction of those venues. All the venues in 13 cities across the province have been approved, and the Olympics Village, the Operational Command Center, and the TV Center will be put in use soon. Second is to ensure a good organization. We will test all the venues and facilities and train our operation teams and make sure we have in place a sound working mechanism. We will make better use of all the resources and make detailed plans and schedules. And we are currently hosting all the 33 test games. And third is to ensure highlights in the themes. We have ensured a good design and the focus of the opening program to combine both history and the current situation, to combine technological development and the features of Shaanxi province, and to make sure that this is a grand and elegant ceremony. Especially, we have put in the elements that will highlight China's endeavors in this new era as another celebration of the centenary of the CPC. At the same time, we make sure that those programs will highlight the features and the unique characteristics of Shaanxi. Fourth is to ensure a sound and good environment and to encourage the participation of more friends from the press. We have been working with different agencies and media houses, and currently the emblems, the mascots, the torch, the medals, and relevant songs and logos have already been officially released, and people are getting more and more attracted and interested in these games. Fifth is to ensure good services and logistics. We have one unified standards for all the gaming areas. At the same time, we are working to ensure COVID-19 prevention and control. At the same time, good services and logistics for all the venues, including transport, telecommunications, accommodations, food service, medical service, security service, and volunteer services, so that all that will come to the game will enjoy a thorough and thoughtful service. You asked about the highlights. I think we will have 4 highlights. First, this will be a lean and streamlined organization. As instructed by Secretary General Xi Jinping, we have streamlined the operations of the preparations, and we will make sure the scale and time of major events such as the closing and opening games and the torch rally, to make sure that though it will be a lean game, it will also be a grand celebration. Second is to encourage the participation from across the society. We have put people front and center, and this has been the theme of the national games. Together with these national games, we are building 40 major projects and 46 programs for the benefits of the people, and also we are hosting sideline sports events so that all from the society could participate in the national games. And third is green development. We want to make this game a green game and to meet the goals of peaking carbon dioxide and carbon neutrality during the preparations and running of the games. So all the relevant policies and measures are put in place so that we will make this national game a green game and use this national games as another opportunity of public awareness and outreach campaign for green development. And fourth is a smart games. We will better use digital technology and smart technology to make this national games a 5G game, a safe game, a truly national game, a red game, and a cultural game, to make sure that it will be combined with the most up-to-date technologies. I want to use this opportunity to extend my invitation to you all to attend this national games in Shaanxi.
谢谢主持人。南方都市报记者提问：
Environmental protection in Shaanxi bears on the overall environmental protection of the country. Could you tell us more about your environmental programs? What are the achievements and what are the future plans?
谢谢南方都市报的这位记者。
Thank you very much for this question.
陕西生态环境保护上面啊，
In terms of environmental protection, we have had our lessons before. You may recall the illegal construction in the Qinling Mountains. But for us, we have learned a harsh lesson from that incident, and following that, we have placed top priority to environmental protection. We have focused our efforts on 5 areas. First is to protect the Qinling Mountains. We focused our efforts on the cracking down on the non-compliant construction, logging, mining, polluting, and hunting activities. We have phased out 169 small mines and phased out 63 small-scale hydropower stations. And we are working on the delimitation and delineation of the Qinling Mountains. Currently, 72.95% of the Qinling areas are covered by forests, and we are enjoying better environments. We are happy to see that a Grade 1 national Grade 1 vegetation, a kind of special plant that was called a national indicator of good environment, has been discovered in the Qinling area for the first time. And we are now working on an overall institutional system combining regulations, overall plans, and specific plans to make sure that we have a better regulation and monitoring system in the Qinling Mountain areas to make the Qinling Mountains a tranquil, harmonious, and beautiful place. And second is to enhance environmental protection along the Yellow River Basin. And third is to enhance the monitoring of the central section of the routes of the water diversion project. 70% of the water in this project come from Hanjiang and Danjiang rivers. So these 2 rivers are our focal points, and we are implementing relevant fishing bans, just like what we have in the Yangtze River, to ensure the water quality of Hanjiang and Danjiang rivers, to ensure that we could supply clean waters to other provinces of China. And fourth is to ensure pollution, to fight against pollution. Over the past 5 years, we have disassembled nearly 20,000 coal files and punished over 27,000 enterprises that is polluting the environment, and the PM 2.5 has dropped by 15% compared with that of 2015. In terms of water pollution, we have been paying our attention to addressing the pollution of rivers in cities, and currently there is no rivers in the province that is below or at the Grade 5 level. In terms of protecting the quality of earth, we have reduced the use of pesticides, and over the past 5 years, the use has been dropped by 10%. And the certification system for fixed polluting resources has covered the whole province. Going forward, we will continue to take tailored programs and projects against water pollution so that we will have clear and better skies and waters and greener forests. And fifth, we will work to achieve the goals in carbon emission and carbon neutrality. We are a major energy production province and also a major fossil energy consumption province. That is why we have made special plans to phase out 79 programs that consumes high quality of energy. And also we have made plans to meet the goals of peaking carbon dioxide, and we are specifying those plans to ensure that new progress could be made.
谢谢香港中评社记者提问。习近平总书记2次到陕西都对创新驱动
During his 2 visits to Shaanxi, General Secretary Xi Jinping made special requests and instructions for innovation development. What will be the plans to make new breakthroughs in this area?
刚才呢，我已经简要向大家介绍了陕西。
Thank you. In my opening remarks, I briefly touched upon the strengths and resources Shaanxi has in advancing innovation. And last year, Shaanxi ranked 9th in China in terms of the strength of innovation. And the volume of technical contract was over 175.8 billion yuan in Shaanxi. And the 13th five-year plan period, the annual growth of Shaanxi high-tech industry and strategic emerging industry grew by respectively 16.4% and 10.2%. We realized that the efficiency of Shaanxi's innovation system is not high enough. The commercialization of Shaanxi's innovation outcomes is not good enough, and there is still vast potential for Shaanxi's innovation in developing into development strength. So, in March this year, we launched the Qinchuangyuan innovation-driven platform to build an incubator for innovation, accelerator of industrialization, and a booster of integration. We hope that this platform will be one of the concrete steps to deliver outcomes at a certain scale. As for the name, Qinchuangyuan, Qin is short for Shannxi and nickname for Shaanxi area. And we hope that by putting this letter in the name, we would inherit the kind of stubbornness and perseverance that the Shaanxi people have to reaching goals. And also, Qin is a homonym for the Chinese character diligence. Chuang means innovation, and Yuan means source. It also means highland at a high platform or a starting point. It means that by putting this letter in the name, we intend to establish a good platform, a good source of strength to support innovation. And also, yuan in Chinese means root. We hope that putting these 3 letters together, the platform will be a source of strength for Shaanxi's innovation. After the platform was launched, a special leading group and working team were established to formulate a 3-year action plan and a series of guidance to encourage the participation of government, universities, finance, and companies. Just a few days ago, we combed through the policies to support innovation and set up a packaged plan comprising 70 measures of 5 categories, taking care of commercialization, talent nurturing, platform building, service system, and company innovation. A one-stop service has been introduced to facilitate the development of the innovation-driven platform. We are doing efforts in 3 aspects. First is to crack open the channel between the innovation elements and companies. We established academies in the advanced Shannxi universities to establish 8 innovation complexes, combining the strengths of platform and innovative companies and institutions. Over 32 projects are launched worth over 45 billion yuan, commercializing over 1,000 scientific technological outcomes. Second is to crack open the channel between innovation and financial support. Over 10 venture investment and angel fund have been introduced with over 10 billion yuan of investment. Third is to crack open the channel between the talent and entrepreneurs. We established the special fund over 100 million yuan to nurture the scientific personnel into engineers and entrepreneurs. Looking ahead, we'll pull strengths together to make this platform a success and encourage the participation of all sectors of the industrial chain to make this platform a success. We'll intensify cooperation with other provinces and Belt and Road countries and regions to host exhibition and investment roadshows to promote the significance and influence of this platform. At the same time, we'll focus on innovation and key technology breakthrough. We will use specific projects to advance the innovation progress and implementation and incubation of technological business. Pioneering spirit is very important. We will never hesitate to try out new trials. And in the review of performance, policy support, and assessment, will give full vitality to all sections and to foster a good environment for innovation. Thank you very much, and thank you for your participation. That concludes today's press conference. Thank you.